Hey guys, we are in an interesting time in that there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know what the economy is going to do. We don't know the full effect of some of the political changes, what that's going to do. Some of us are in a transitional season, but not necessarily by our own choice. When that happens, it's one of the more difficult transitions to navigate, mainly because it's going to hurt and it's going to cause us some pain if someone else's decision puts us into a transitional season, specifically in the workplace. If a layoff or a RIF, a reduction in force has occurred, and you are a part of that, which I have been a part of that. I know how it feels. The temptation, obviously, is to immediately do one of two things. You're either going to withdraw and isolate yourself and pout and about it and feel bad for yourself, or you're going to immediately start firing out resumes, making phone calls and contacts and doing all those things. You're going to just jump right in. Some of you will do that. The truth is, what's helpful and healthy is somewhere in between those two extremes. Now, obviously, we never want you to isolate yourself and pout and all of that, but it is important for you to take some time to grieve. Yeah, I use that word, to grieve, because there is a sense of loss. There's going to be some pain involved. And like with all pain, we need to address it. We don't need to ignore it. We need to address it. We may need to take a little time to work through the emotional element of this transitional season that has been put on us by someone else's choices. But now we get to make some choices. And that choice is that I'm going to, first thing, I'm going to try to get well. Because honestly, in the moment, I'm probably not well. I'm going to have a certain way of feeling about all of this. And it will be important for me to take the time to work through those emotions and release forgiveness, perhaps, to people who you feel may have wronged you, or a decision made in error, or it was not right. But also to release people that maybe you bring yourself to the perspective is that it wasn't personal. This was market driven. This was something that happened, and you choose to not blame others. The first step in these difficult transitions is to take a little moment. Now, is it important to make your contacts and get things out there? Yes. Some years ago, I came across something from a person, an author named John Acuff, so I want to give him credit, and he talked about your career wallet. This goes way beyond your resume. Now, having an updated and targeted resume for whatever jobs you may be looking for in the future, that's important. You may even need to get some help with someone helping you to revise, especially if it's been a long time since you've even thought or looked at it. But he calls it the career wallet, and that would include your resume, but it also includes all of the contacts and relationships and connections that you've made up till this point in your career path. You don't want to be drawing from your career wallet every day, but there are times in seasons like this one where transition wasn't your decision to the result of a layoff or a reduction in force or downsizing, however your company might label it. This is the perfect time to go to your career wallet. The first thing you want to do is take time for the pain that you're going to inevitably feel. There are going to be some feelings. You want to give your space a time to grieve, so that you can, in a healthy way, then approach how you move forward. Now, this is different for everyone. In my case, I took several days because I found out on a Thursday. I had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I just took some real time to try to process what just happened and deal with my emotions regarding it. For me, it was helpful to write those things out and then process them. And I would write exactly how I was feeling, and then I would go back and look at it and say, is that really accurate, or is that true? Is that what really happened? And it helped me process. Maybe that would help you. But you're going to need to take that step. And then following that step, draw on your career wallet. Get some help, perhaps, updating a resume, making a targeted resume for the specific positions you would like to go after. It's also important to recognize that you're going to learn some things. You're going to learn things about your industry. You're going to learn some things about your marketplace. You're going to learn things about yourself and what you enjoy and what you don't, so that it will help you be more targeted as you look for your next position. Not everyone has that convenience. Some of us have to just find work as soon as possible because people depend on us, and I understand that. So it doesn't have to be months and months that you drag this out through your grief process, but you do need to make time for it. And then you need to reach out to the connections that you have, draw on your career wallet, and recognize that there are things to be learned here. And also, there are things to be put into practice based on the lessons that you've learned. Here's one final thought on this topic today, as I'm just sitting here and it's crossed my brain. I think it's important to accept the possibility that this could be beneficial for you. I know. How you're feeling right now, you think how could this possibly benefit me? Well, one of the ways it will definitely benefit you is if you identify the lessons it's teaching you and you choose to learn them and put them into practice going forward. You'll find that what you thought was the most terrible thing, a transition that wasn't your decision, could actually turn into something being very, very beneficial for you. And you may look back on it and say, that was a powerful and pivotal time in my life.